Alright guys, well, I'm back today with a brand new night vision offering from DNT Optics. This is going to be the updated version or version 2 of the ZULUS line, and we're going to be talking about the specs and features of this particular digital night vision device, as well as a history of DNT Optics on the channel, and a little bit of story time about a few hunting trips that I've utilized DNT Optics on, and they've really blown me away at the quality and performance and durability under different adverse conditions. Now, before we get too far into it, I do want to give a huge shout out to DNT Optics for sending this out. Glad to have a third one out to the channel. And a huge shout out to AAC for all of the ammo support. Been running a lot of the 300 blackout, especially the subsonic, through this particular setup, because nothing is cooler than a night vision device on top of a subsonic setup with a can on the end. And AAC makes it simple and accurate. Thanks to these guys. Back into the optic. Now we are looking at the ZULUS HD V2 5-20 digital night vision scope, and they offer this at a few different zoom ranges. So depending on the distances you want to go, you may want to select something else, but honestly for me, the 5-20 is absolutely perfect for the type of hunting that I'm going to do in my local area, but yours may differ, so again, there's different options. Now, one of the other first things I want to mention is the fact that this is the updated version of the standard ZULUS that they started to offer that got rave reviews. This one is going to be updated in a few different areas, including a brand new sensor that they're using, the Sony Starvis 2. That's going to be a 60 hertz frame rate with a 1920 by 1080 resolution, and this right off the bat has some amazing resolutions, but honestly, so did the previous DNT Optics. This is just going to be a step up. Now, I mentioned the hunting trip that we took earlier. Both of the optics on the rifles were actually DNT optics, and it was like cheating. A few new people were trying these out for the first time and were blown away by the quality and performance. And with a quick 5-minute training session on the land in the dark, they were able to manipulate and use these very effectively on some beavers in a pond. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But no, the image quality in the old ones was good, and it was very user-friendly. This one just got more user-friendly and a better interface. So really love that about that. It's also really cool because it includes a lot of interesting features, like an included IR emitter, as well as a laser rangefinder built in, and an onboard ballistic calculator in the app itself that you can download to your phone. It also records and has different record settings, and you can pull off of that with the USB-C on the side. And this one also comes with a new battery system, and it's going to have better battery life than the previous versions. In fact, the new ZULUS HD V2 is going to have a battery that's a flat top 21700, so I guess a 21700. I'm not a battery expert here, guys, but it's not going to be the standard 18650 flat top that they used previously. So the previous one would last about 8 hours. This one's going to last about 10 hours, giving you a better battery life, and a lot of these are going to ship with a couple of bonus packs depending on when you get it. But more information about a lot of the DNT Optics kind of nitty-gritty stuff is going to be found on their YouTube channel, and I'll be linking their YouTube channel in the description below. And that's one of the first places you should head after this video. It's DNT Optics is the YouTube name, but again, they'll be linked down below so you can check those guys out. Now, the other cool thing is they do have replaceable batteries, so you can swap those out on a trip. But honestly, every hunting trip that I've been on, it's not going to last more than the to 10-hour battery life. But if you're in the fields, maybe you're camping or you're backpacking, you're hiking in, you can easily charge those batteries off of a power bank or actually bring a couple more because, again, you can buy more, they include more. There's just really easy to swap those out. But another great thing and I love about the DNT Optics, which is really convenient, is the standby mode. So once the optic is on, you'll power that on. You can actually click the button right here, and it's letting it boot up right now. But when you click that button, it'll actually go into a standby mode where the optic is ready to go. It doesn't have to go through the boot up scenario. You don't have to go back to the original screen. It just simply goes into, here we go. It's booted up fully, and now it's in a standby mode, and this will turn yellow. So you can leave your optic on, but in a standby mode to save batteries. So when we were over at the pond on my pastor's hunting land, it was overrun with beavers, and they had about 15 to 20 beavers in this massive 100-yard-long pond. It was almost like a mini lake. And we were set up at different areas. Now, the beavers would come out, we would dispatch a few of them, and then they wouldn't come out for 15 to 20 minutes. We'd put everything in standby mode, and it was super easy to reach up, click this button, and boom, it goes back into full mode where you can see everything you need to see, take out or shoot what you need to shoot, and then put it back in the standby mode to save batteries. And it was that simple. Love that aspect. And it's very practical in the field. It just works really well. I also love the fact that everything about this is very intuitive, like a traditional scope. You've got the eye cup with a pretty decent eye relief. You are looking at a screen. And on this new one, you actually have a digital zoom, but it works like a standard zoom lever or a throw lever. So it's just very intuitive. Some of the previous generations to zoom, you did have to reach up, click buttons, and at night that can be a little difficult. And I've tried that on other models. You kind of got to memorize where the buttons are. But again, these are very simple to understand. And again, with about 2 minutes of training, if you're bringing this out to a hunting trip and somebody hasn't used it yet, you can easily just show them, hey, it works like a standard optic right there. And the controls make sense up at the top. Now, another thing I want to mention is that laser rangefinder works out incredibly well, and you can pair it with the app. Now, for me, I'm going about 100 yards and in for most of my hunting trips, so I haven't taken full advantage of that yet, but it is very convenient, and you can set it up for different specific bullets that you want to set it up for, so that works out pretty cool. Now, the other cool thing about the ZULUS is it comes right out of the box with a standard 850 nanometer lamp head. And this is going to be that IR night vision, the IR light that helps the night vision see what you need to see. But it can be swapped out since it's removable with a more discreet and stealthy 940. The 850 will throw off a little bit of a red hue. I haven't seen that matter in my hunting applications, like it doesn't spook game. But if you wanted to be a bit more stealthy from just other things that can see red light a little bit better than some of the animals I hunt can, the 940 is going to work out really well. I've also seen and done where I set up a generic IR light on a tripod somewhere in the area away from the shooting position that illuminates the entire area. And then I run it without IR if you want to be even more discreet. But again, I haven't seen animals mind this when I'm doing this. Now, this is also a one-shot zero, meaning you can fire, and it's very intuitive to go through the settings menu and zero it in. You can actually, I love this feature about this, under the settings menu, you fire your round, you aim at a point, it hits up here. Under the zeroing, you can actually freeze that image to where you can start moving the optic around and it actually freezes that image. From there, you click adjust reticle and you can click it up, you click it over, and then it lands on it, and that's a one-shot zero. The other great thing about this is it has a ton of reticle styles, 9 to be exact, and 5 colors on the reticle. So you can swap out reticles, you can swap out the colors, which makes a huge difference. Now, when I was running this at night, I would use different reticle palettes depending on what I was going for and what I was looking at. And in the day, especially if you're recording things in the day, you can use different reticles. So absolutely love that. You can also do precise aiming in picture-in-picture mode. So you can really zoom in and also do picture-in-picture so you can get a wide field of view and then zoom in to take your shot, which is really convenient. When we were taking out those beavers, we were taking shots with the 17 HMR out to 80 to 100 yards, and we were still making hits with this on a small beaver swimming in a pond. So it's really great for that small game, especially the large stuff. You can also do the wireless updates. You can detach this guy right here and swap it out with things you want. And there's different aiming methods and holdovers that you can dig through the manual. You get a lot of things inside the box, including this offset mount right here that locks up rock solid. And overall, this has been a joy down at the range. Again, we've taken this DNT optic into a wide variety of situations. Over at the first hunting trip, we ran these for about 4 to 5 hours and had plenty of battery life to take them on another hunting trip. And that was in reasonably cool weather. I wouldn't say it was freezing, but the batteries held up good in cool weather. On another couple of hunting trips we took this on, it was raining and I just let it sit on the tripod in the rain and it held up great with no issues there. So that's another thing to consider. These have been truly tested in the field on the channel, not just thrown on and fired a few rounds. These have really went through testing, I think 5 or 6 hunting trips on these guys, and they just keep working, and this new one is a great addition. If you want to see a little bit of some of the other DNTs, I actually have a beaver hunting video on the 704 Gear channel, which was fun to film if you want to check it out. And again, make sure you check out DNT YouTube channel. They've got a lot of awesome stuff over there. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below if you've tried DNT and what you think of these guys. Have a good one.